turning holiday into season of faith, connection, and growth. Welcome to today's show. My name is Ayolua Adedeji. Thank you for joining me here on the Parenting Talk Show with Coach Ayolua. I am the founder and the lead consultant at the Model Family Focus. Thank you if you are joining me for the first time. What we do here on this show is that we talk and learn about parenting. And if you are been joining me on this live session, thank you for always joining me. You are welcome to today's educative session. In case you are wondering, what is it about the Model Family Focus? Well, let me tell you. At the Model Family Focus, what we do is that we equip parents to raise well-rounded children, balanced children, purposeful children. And hey, important announcement, 2 of my books will be out on the 15th of August. Why Find Your Lord Purpose? And Discipline Without Damage. Trust me, these books will literally save your life. Honestly, I love those books. And I want to encourage you to get those books and read. The first one, Why Find Your Lord's Purpose, is coming with an accompanying workbook. You know, as a coach, my job is to help you, to do what you are supposed to do, to equip you to be able to do what you need to do on your parenting journey. So I also designed a workbook for you. This workbook will help you to parent purposefully, to parent with your body, soul, and spirit present. These 2 books, they are just what you need to raise purposeful children, to discipline your children, to shape your children's behavior without breaking their spirits. A lot of us don't know that we can discipline our children without breaking their spirits. Here in this book, I provided tools and guidelines to help you to discipline your children. Discipline is important in parenting. When we get discipline right, we get almost everything in parenting right. So I have prepared these 2 books to help you, to be your guide in your journey as an intentional parent. Watch out, 15th of August. It will be available on my online store. Thank you. All right, let's move on to the business of the day. So today's show will equip you with practical strategies, inspiration, and customizable family growth framework to transform the holiday. Remember, we are on holiday. For those of us watching from Nigeria and from other, parts of the world where they are observing holiday currently. So today's show will equip you with practical strategies, inspirations, and personalized family growth framework that will transform the holiday season. So at the end of this session today, you will understand the importance of purpose-filled holiday. Purpose-filled holiday. If you have been joining me for the past 3-4 weeks, I think 3 weeks on this show, I have been talking about holiday. And like I do say, holiday is not a time of parenting. It is a time, in fact, more time on purposeful parenting. So holiday period is another important time that, if used purposefully, can help us to shape our children purposefully. So at the end of this session, you will understand the importance of purpose-filled holiday. You will understand why you don't just need to, have the holiday to take advantage of holiday period. You will also be able to create a personalized family growth plan for your family. Like I do say, what you need for your family may be different from what I need from my family. Sometimes I shared on my Facebook, on my social media handle, I shared how I was able to come up with a family system installation for our family. And so one of my followers requested that I share with him. And my response was like, even if I share with you, it may not be useful for you because my family dynamics is different from yours. The nature of my work is different from yours. The personality of my children are different from yours. Your goal, your vision as a family, mine is different from yours. So each family need a customized, customized framework that works for each family. So you will be equipped to create personalized family growth plan for your family, just for your family. You will also discover tools for spiritual, emotional, intellectual, and relational enrichment. Yes, you'll be equipped with tools, with strategies that you need to achieve all of this. You will also learn how to include all ages in meaningful family engagement, except you have a set of twins. Of course, if you don't have a set of twins, you have children of different ages, maybe age 8, age 5, age 2, and all that. So their needs differs. How they learn differs. How they cope differs. So you will also learn how to include all ages so that none of your child will be left out. So these are the things that you walk away with after this session. So let me first explain to you why purpose matters. Why do you even need to be purposeful in your holiday? Shebi is holiday. We can have fun, we can, loosen up, we can play, we can do all this and all that. Yes, I agree with you. Holiday is supposed to be filled with fun. But holiday is not time away from learning. Holiday is not time away from learning. It's just time away from structured learning from classroom. Yes. So it is important that we take advantage of holiday. During holiday, maybe you will have more time to spend with your children. So you need to take advantage of that long period of time that you have with your children. Remember that children grow every second. Every second counts. Every second counts. And there is a time frame. There are things that children need to learn per time. Remember, even the scripture says that seed time and harvest time. There are times that you need to plant. There are times that you need to water. You need to clear the bush for your plants to do well. And there are times to harvest. This is also applicable in parenting. So it is important that you don't miss that time. If you miss that window frame, you are going to struggle. Not only you, your children will also struggle. So it is important that you parent with purpose so that you will not miss what you need to teach your children per time. While parenting is not about perfection, you can't be perfect in your parenting because parenting is not a destination. It's a journey. As we are going, we are learning. But we need to strive to do well so that we can raise well-rounded children. So why does purpose matter even in holiday? Number one is because holiday is a window for shaping hearts. Just like I said earlier, holiday is a time, is a window, is an opportunity to shape hearts, to shape our children's mind, and to create memories. When the school was about closing, our daughter was like, "Hey, mommy, why don't you allow us to go for summer holidays and all that?" And I was trying to explain that this holiday period is actually the time that you can create memories for yourself and that we can create memories as family. Yes. So you need to be purposeful even during holiday. You need to have a purposeful holiday with your children because it is a long holiday and it is a window for shaping our children's hearts, mind, and memories. During this holiday, if you are parenting purposefully, if you are intentional about this holiday, honestly, you will create lovely memories. You will be able to teach your children even things that school cannot teach, things that school doesn't even see as necessary. So that's number one. Then number two is that you need to be purposeful in your holiday because there are common holiday traps. I think I talked about that in my last session. If you have been missing this session, please, you can go to my YouTube channel. All the videos are available on my YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have over 45 videos on parenting on my YouTube channel. So it's a place where you need to be. Okay, so I was talking about holiday common traps, during holiday structures collapse. Last week I talked about structures, rhythms, putting systems in place even during holiday. So during holiday, chances are that we collapse structures. The wake up time is gone, breakfast time is gone, lunch time, dinner and all that, even bedtime. Structures just disappears just because we're on holiday. So these are traps. Endless screen time. If you are not careful enough, screens will babysit your children during the holiday. There's a form of disconnection, usually unnoticed. We don't actually notice it. Yes, we don't actually notice it, but it happens during holiday. When you're on holiday, you have things to do, you want to keep your children busy, you just leave them. Some of us will even take our children and go and dump them somewhere else. We take them to grandma's house, uncle's house, auntie's house, mommy this place, mommy daddy's place. Why traveling, exposure, and all that is important, should be part of holiday plan, but we should be intentional so that it will not do to our children more than good. So this is very important. We need to be purposeful in our holiday. We need to create a purposeful holiday so that we can escape the common holiday trap, such as passive entertainment, disconnection, chaos, and all that. Remember that children will always want to have free time. They want to do what they like every time. So if you are not intentional, if you are not purposeful in your holiday, you risk that chance to fall into the holiday traps. Okay, why again does purpose, why do we need to be purposeful during our holiday? It means that because we need to parent with purpose even in downtime. We need to parent with purpose. Purposeful parenting is not something we go on and go off for. No. It's not something that this month you are parenting purposefully, next month, you have loosened up and all that. No. We need to be purposeful. Why we can make mistakes on the journey? Yes, that's okay. It's part of learning. But we need to be intentional. When we are intentional, when we are purposeful, that is when we will even take notes. That is when we will know when we are making mistakes. That is when we will be aware of our mistakes. And when we are aware of our mistakes, we will quickly redress and come back to track. Awareness is the first step in making lasting change. So we need to be purposeful because we also need to parent with purpose even in down times. Yes. And lastly, we need to be purposeful, especially during this holiday, because we need to teach our children diligently, even when you sit at home. Yes. Home is the first learning environment for your children. home has the capacity to shape your children's mindset, to shape your children's, how they view things, how they perceive the world. Yes, your home is the first classroom. Your home is the first influence on your children. So you need to be intentional. Now that your children are at home, you need to be intentional. You need to be purposeful. You need to engineer your home in such a manner that will empower your children, that will empower your family to be able to achieve what you envision. And that's why I keep saying, if you are parenting and you don't have your family system installation, you are wrong. Big time. You are wrong. You are wrong. Thank you, my beloved. Thank you for always joining me. You are wrong. If you are parenting in this era and you are just parenting on impulse, you are just you are just doing anyhow. You are just parenting. You just know that you are parenting. You just know that you are a father, you are a mother. You just know. Uncle Rotimi, thank you for joining me. You're welcome. Thank you so much, sir. You are just parenting. You just know you are the father, you are the mother. You are just parenting. You are wrong. You are wrong. This time, you need to run your family as a business. You must have heard me say this, and I'll continue to say, because that is the truth. See, we are living in a world, in a confused world. So you need to purposefully, you need to intentionally raise your children. You need to have your family vision. You need to have your family goal. You need to have your perception code. You need to have your family values well documented and well communicated with your children. You need to give your children identity. If you don't, the world will give your children identities. But you and I know that the world is not a nice, it's not nice, because the world will change who your children are supposed to be. So if you are parenting this time, you need to run your family as a business. Families don't thrive on guesswork. No. Business don't thrive on guesswork. So also family. Businesses thrive on system. Businesses thrive on rigging. Businesses thrive on set goal, on vision. And that is what you should do. If you want to raise well-rounded children, that is what you should do. So you need to be purposeful in your parenting. Gone are the days when you just assume because you have a husband or you have a wife, you got pregnant, you have children, you are now parenting. No, that is not all about parenting. Parenting is a learned skill. Parenting is it's not an intuition. It's not intuitive. It is what you learn. Like I say, even as a parenting coach, I keep learning about parenting. I've been doing this unofficially for almost 10 years. Yes. I started this officially about 3 years. And I keep learning. Every day I read about parenting. Every day. Yes, believe me. Every day I learn about parenting, because parenting is a learned skill. Parenting is not an intuition. Parenting is not what we assume. That's why when I see some things on social media, I can only shake my head. When I see comments like, my parents beat me and I turned out to be okay. No, that's a lie. We didn't turn out to be okay. We just think that we turned out to be okay. Our parents raised us the way they raised us because that was all they knew. And I thank God for the way my father beat me, the belts that the way my parents raised me. That's what brought me to where I am. No, we are wrong. We are wrong. If at this time your parenting style is still the same as your parents' parenting style, you are wrong. You stand a chance to raise broken children. Don't make the mistake of assuming that all you need to do as parents is to send your children to school, clothe them in designer clothes, provide shelter. Fine, all those things are important. They are basic needs, but there are still things that we need to raise well-rounded children. And purposeful parenting is one of the things. Raising emotionally intelligent children, emotionally whole children. That's one of the important gifts that we can give to our children. And trust me, when my book, Why Find Your Lost Purpose, when it's out, it will be out by August 15th. Get a copy and read. It will change how you perceive your parenting. It will definitely change. It will help you to know your child more. Some of us, we don't know our children. What I'm talking about is not your children's name, your children's best food, best color. No, I mean your children's personality, your children's design, understanding the assignment. There's an assignment in that book. I said, oh, I love that book so much. In that book, I said, your children are designed to solve a specific problem. Every child is designed to solve a specific problem. It is your responsibility as a parent to identify what problem has God designed my children to solve. So it is your job, it is your role as a parent, not just to provide food, not just to provide shelter, not just to send your children to best schools. They are important, but they are still sacred work. I said it in that book that parenting is a sacred job, is a sacred role, is a prophetic role. Is like tapping into the future of your children and equipping your children with skills and strategies they need to become what God wants them to be, not what you want them to be. Most times we want our children to become what we want to be. Oh, come off it. God is an intentional God. I said it in that book. I said children are purpose round up in flesh. So God did, we were raised to believe that when we grow up, that's when we start looking for our purposes. We start praying for purpose. Father, show me your purpose. Why did you create me? Let me know. In fact, some of us believe that is after we have done so many trials and errors and all that, that is when we can now know our purpose. No. As God is creating you, your purpose is created. In fact, remember in the story of Adam and Eve, the story of creation, God created everything. He created the problem. He created the purpose that Adam and Eve is expected to handle. So that is how it is. Your children are designed to solve specific problems. It is not your role. It is your job to help them to identify what exactly. So in that book, I provided tools and strategies that will help you. Even as a child, even as a toddler, you can know the problem that your child is designed to solve. Yes, that's how powerful that book is. Even with the workbook, you can know. All these what will I call it, that we normally say, oh, you talk too much. When our children are expressing themselves, I categorized personality into 4, and each of the personality have their uniqueness and their what did I call it, their growth edges, yes, their weaknesses. So all this, shut up, you talk too much, you are too quiet, you are doing like mumu. No, it's a message. There are traits, there are things, there are signs that you need to consciously take note of to help your children to become what God wants them to become. Let me not go into details in that book. On the 15th of August, the 2 books will be out. They will be available on my online stores. Please do well to get them. It will help you. So I was talking about teaching our children, diligently. I was talking about making our home. Of course, our home is the first place of influence for our children. Before they start learning outside, they learn from home. So we need to consciously engineer our home in a way that we enable our children to become what we want our family to be. All right. A purposeful holiday is not about perfection. Like I do say, parenting is not about perfection. Even as a coach, I don't look forward to perfection. I look forward to progress, making progress daily. And I strive daily, daily. In fact, one of the things I do when I'm on bed in the night is thinking back. What did I do wrong today in my parenting journey? What was I supposed to do that I didn't do? What was I not supposed to do that I have done? Daily, I do that daily. I do that daily. I am committed to growth, not to perfection. I am committed to progress. Progress. When I talk about yelling, when I talk about beating, where I was raised, you can't come out of that system and not beat. How? How? That is not possible. Where I was raised, maybe you too. You know, our parents believed that you need to hit a child, you need to yell, you need to do all that before you can get a child to listen. But I have learned. I have grown. I have grown. Sometimes ago, my husband was saying, hey, Ayo, you really tried though. You, with all these things that these children are doing and you're not beating and all that. No. I am committed to growth. I keep learning. I keep growing. I keep learning. Even when I make mistakes, when I commit error, I quickly, make correction. So a purposeful holiday is not about perfection. It is about presence and intentionality. And that is also what parenting is all about. Presence. Your children don't need perfect parents. No, they don't. They don't even know what perfection is. Is with the parent that want to be perfect. You want your children to do well every time. You want your children to pass all exams, to have good grades, to do this, you say sit down there. You want your children to sit down. Fine, they are okay. But parenting is not about perfection. Holiday, a purposeful holiday is not about perfection. In fact, if you agree with me, during holiday, it is possible. There are higher chances that you commit so many errors. Why? Because you spend more time as a family, as a children. There are chances that you commit, more errors, more blunders, but it's okay. It's about presence. It's about intentionality. Sometimes, when I make errors, I tell my children, I am still learning. Yes, I tell them, see, where I grew up, this was how we were raised. This is how our parents treated us. So we grew up to know. Our brains have been rewired that this is a normal thing. But now, I am learning. So a purposeful holiday is not about perfection. Wanting to be perfect is wanting to be worn out. Is wanting to be frustrated. If your goal is to be perfect in your parenting or during this holiday, trust me, you'll be frustrated. You will be frustrated. A purposeful holiday is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about intentionality. So we just need to reflect on what matters most. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about building your family growth plan. Remember, I talked about during my introduction that at the end of this session, you will be equipped to design your own family growth plan. Yes, family growth. I call it FGP, family growth plan. And like I said, mine will be different from yours. But I'm going to share principles that you need. I'm going to tell you what you need in your family growth plan so that you can be able to design your own. I can't design yours for you. You need to design yours for yourself because our family dynamics differs. So let's talk about building your family growth plan. The 4 growth pillars. That's what I call it. The 4 growth pillars. Number 1 is spiritual formation. Spiritual formation. When you are developing your family growth plan, it is important that you make provision for your spiritual formation. It doesn't matter the religion. I'm not specific about religion now. You are a Christian, you are a Muslim, whatever thing you believe in, whatever religion you are serving. I said it about 2 weeks ago on this show that no matter what you give to your children, send them to schools, send them abroad, equip them with skills, prepare them for life, it's okay. But if you fail to give your God to your children, it's as good as doing nothing. Auntie Bola, thank you. Thank you for always joining me. You're welcome. Yes, let me say that again. No matter what you give to your children, quality education, good life, you build house for your children, you dress your children in designer clothes. If you fail to give your God to your children, it's as good as doing nothing. Is as good as doing nothing. One of the things that we were intentional about during this holiday is that spiritual formation. The world is full of normalized nonsense. Normalized nonsense. You see the way people are dressing these days and you wonder, what is this? When I see grown-up adults going out in pants, hey, I was telling my husband, I said, I kept imagining what is going through someone's mind. You go into the bathroom, you have your bath, moisturize your body, you put on makeup, wear expensive wig and all that, and wear tight, and carry your handbag that you are going out. What is that? Those people, they are coming from somewhere, from a family. Yes, sir. Yes, man, Bola. No matter what you give to your children, don't fail to let them know God. Don't fail to let them know God. Thank you for typing this. And see, don't fail. It is their spiritual knowledge that will help them to form their identity. One of our family, one of our important family values that we communicate to our children is deep connection with God. Deep connection with God. And every day, every blessed day, we have morning devotion with our children. We have their designed devotion for their children, for children that we use every day. We have hymn that we sing every morning when our children are going out. When we are going out, they are going to school, to help them live in that consciousness of God. And every day at night, we read Bible to our children. We have been doing this for years. And one of the things that will keep our children on screen is Bible story. Yes, we have intentionally built that system. No matter what you give to your children, never make that mistake of failing to let them know God. See, your children may find themselves in an environment in an unhealthy environment. But if your children are grounded in spiritual formation, trust me, they will find their way home. Trust me, they will find their way home. So one of the four growth pillars of your family, when you are developing your family growth plan, should be spiritual formation. So during this holiday, be intentional about spiritual formation of your children. Be intentional. During this holiday, sometimes we spend 40 minutes, 1 hour talking about scriptures to our children, teaching them about God, teaching them about scriptural values. It is important. Devotionals, prayers, worship, character focus. See, I can only shake my head when I see some things happening around. And you will clearly see that these children lack spiritual formation. A child who is intentionally raised in a home where spiritual formation is key, you won't see them go out to do anyhow. You won't. Even as a child, you won't. So if you are parenting, you don't have a family devotion for your children designed for children. I'm not talking about the general family devotion. We do that too. But we have one designed for the children. If you don't have that running in your home, this is the time to start implementing that. Prayer. This is the time. Worship. Character focus. Whatever religion you are, there are characters that you can use to teach your children about spiritual formation, values, and all that. This is the right time to do that. About 3 weeks ago, our son said something. Our son is just 5 years going on. He said, "Mommy, I don't want to be like David." I said, "Oh, why?" He said, "Because David killed people. I don't want to be like that." We were not even talking about Bible. I was in the kitchen. We were hot in the kitchen when he said that. Another time he said, "Mommy, I like to be like Enoch." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because Enoch did not die. He ascended to heaven. I don't want to die. I want to ascend to heaven." That's a 5-year-old child. Why is he able to do that? Because we are intentional. We are intentional about spiritual formation. You see, when I say all this and my children misbehave, I beat them. You don't beat values into children. You teach values into them. No, you don't. You don't teach values. Beating will not teach your children value. Yes, don't take God away from the process of your intentional parenting. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Always bring out salient points. Don't take God away from the process of your intentional parenting. Invite Him into it. And that's one of the key things I talked about in my workbook, Why Find Your Lost Purpose. That spiritual tools that you will use to raise purposeful children. This is very important. You cannot take the creator away from the process of the product. How? How now? You cannot. Because the creator is the designer of the product. In this case, our children are our products. So how do you want to take away the designer away from the process? Of course, you will misuse the product, and that is what is happening. And that's why the first pillar I'm talking about is the spiritual formation. This is very important. Even before we started teaching our children ABC, we started teaching them Bible. We started reading Bible stories to our children even before they start school. There's a reason for that. The world is already chaotic. So we need to intentionally, when he is in it, yes, the outcome is not just success. Yes, ma, you are right. When you involve the designer of a product into the process, the outcome is not just success, just as Auntie Bola said. It is significant. This is very important. Thank you, Auntie, for this. So spiritual formation is the first pillar of your family growth plan. All right. So the second one is emotional and relational growth. Conversations, empathy games. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to quickly find out about something. So I said the second pillar is emotional and relational growth. That's conversation, affirmations, building your the emotional tank of your children. In my book, Discipline Without Damage, I think chapter 6, I talked about the emotional bank accounts. Just like we make deposits in the bank, we make withdrawals, our children have emotional bank. Everybody, we all have it. So it is important that you make deposits to your emotional bank, your children's emotional bank. These are your deposits are what we keep your children standing in the face of adversity, in challenging moments. How much deposit you are able to make in your children's emotional bank account is what will carry them. It builds their resilience. If you have nothing, just like if you don't have money in the bank, you can't even go there to withdraw. Of course, you'll be called thief because you don't have any money there. So in our children's emotional bank account, we need to make deposits. How do we make deposits? Currency in emotional bank, their affirmations. Words like I'm proud of you, even though if you make error, you are still chosen. You are good the way you are. I love you the way you are, and all that. Positive affirmation. Having meaningful conversations with our children. Parents always complain to me, coach, all these things that you are saying, there is no time. How do I meet up? There is time, oh. There is always time. It is only what you are intentional about. Let me share how I'm able to manage my time in teaching my children. Yes, you have to go to work, you have to attend to other needs and all that. But it is also important. Parenting is not distraction. No. From other activities. It's not a distraction from your career, from your business and all that. It is the main job. It is the main job. And that is why I said it, that parenting is a sacred job. So on our way to school, we have design curriculum. As I'm walking our children to school, I'm talking to them. They are learning. So walking to school is not just a quiet moment for us or the time for complaining you didn't know. In the morning, that 10-15 minutes, I have a scheduled curriculum that we teach our children. And they are so used to it. When we are going, even when I'm carried away, they say, Mommy, what are you teaching us today? That's how to manage time. When they are coming back from school, that time from school, when I go to pick them from school, is for something. So all these little, moments, they count. You are in the kitchen. You can schedule your time. Just have a curriculum of what you teach them. It doesn't have to take a long time. You don't need 1 hour, 2 hours, no. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just be consistent. So having meaningful conversation should also be part of your family growth plan. I call that the 3 conversation, empathy, affirmations, is emotional and relational growth. That's the second pillar. I'm talking about 4 growth pillars. 4 growth pillars. I've talked about spiritual formation. The second one is emotional and relational growth. The third one is intellectual curiosity. Intellectual curiosity. These 4 pillars are like the 4 legs. Yes, the 4 legs that should carry your family growth plan. Intellectual curiosity. Book clubs, documentaries, fun facts, holiday challenge. You need to incorporate this in your family growth plan. Have a book club, schedule, put systems in place that will encourage your children to be reading. When people complain, my children don't like reading, my children struggle to read, I've never experienced that. Our daughter will wake up, I think at the age of 4 or 5, in the midnight, and start reading on our own. Our baby is 2 years going on 3. He's reading. You wonder. He can't even identify ABC, but he will pick up book and he will stay and be reading. Sometimes when I said it on the show last week, sometimes when you call, you say, please, I'm reading. I wonder what he's reading. But he will concentrate as if he's understanding the text. Why is he able to do that? Because we have built a system. that ensures that everybody reads every day. So they don't struggle to read. Sometimes they will pick book. Mommy, read for me. That's a toddler. It's a system, and you can also achieve it. It's just intentionality. So intellectual curiosity, all this will build intellectual curiosity in your children. If you're able to put all these systems in place, you won't struggle with your children reading and all that. Reading shouldn't be a form of punishment. Yes, I see parents do that when their children are doing something. Oh yeah, go and carry your book and read. No, it shouldn't be. If you are able to build the system your own, your children will naturally enjoy reading. They will naturally in fact, sometimes we need to drag our daughter. It's late. Go and sleep. Go and sleep. Because we have been able to put the systems in place. So introduce book club, watch documentaries together, fun facts and all that. All these will spike intellectual curiosity. And the fourth pillar is creative and recreational joy. Creativity is important. Engineer your own to foster curiosity. Yes. Give your children family projects, music, baking, outing. Sometimes I just tell our children, oh yeah, come and draw. Take your pencil. Just draw what is going on in your mind. All this will encourage creative and recreational joy. So I've talked about the 4 growth pillars. These are the 4 legs that should hold your family growth plan, especially during this holiday. I talked about spiritual formation. I talked about emotional and relational growth. I talked about intellectual curiosity, and I talked about creative and recreational joy. So let me give you a family growth plan template that you can copy, that you can use during this holiday, and that you can continue using it. I said it and I've been saying it, that it's not about perfection. It's just about presence and intentionality. That is all you need. Consistency. That's all. Consistently. So this template will help you to develop your family growth plan. Weekly family theme. Having weekly family theme, e.g. kindness. You can have a system in place that goes around, a theme in a week. It could be a week, it could be monthly, depending on your family dynamics. But this is just a guide that can help you to achieve a family growth plan. So weekly family theme. This week you can choose kindness. Everything you do, everything you talk about is about kindness. Another week it can be curiosity. So you schedule your activities around curiosity. Another week it can be gratitude. Anything that works for you. You can choose anything. Just have a theme. Like this week, this is what we are doing. This is what we want to achieve. Your teaching, your talk, your activities will be around your family theme, weekly theme. The second one is daily anchors. Morning devotion, midday challenges, evening reflection, and all that. This is also a template. This is part of the template that you can use. Daily anchors. You have what you do daily. Morning devotion should be a daily thing. In fact, we have been able to instill it in our children that before you take edible food, you should take spiritual food. Before you take edible food, they understand that. Sometimes when I'm trying to manage time, when we are preparing them for school and I'm saying, come and have your cereal before we have our morning devotion, they will say, no, mommy, you remember that before we eat food, we should first eat spiritual food. So it is important. Daily anchors, your daily anchors, morning devotion should be part of it. Midday challenge. That is if you have the time. If your family dynamics does not allow that, it's okay. Then evening reflection. One thing that we have been able to achieve here is that every day, every night, we gather as a family and we reflect. Every day. We call it gratitude reflection time. Every one of us will come together and we talk about what we are grateful for that day. This has been, a big deal. Yes. No matter how tough our day is, no matter how stressful our day is, we still find something to be grateful for. Let me share with you what prompted me to put that system in place. Do you know, I discovered that people who take their own lives, they don't do that because they have nothing to be grateful for. They do that because they are not able to see what is it that they should be grateful for. There must be something you are grateful for, no matter how bad your situation is. So I put that system in place as part of, the things that can build our children emotional bank. So when you are able to sit down and think, no matter how little, and think and find out something that you are grateful for, no, that child cannot fall into that trap of suicide. So every day, that's what we do here. So I'm talking about daily anchors. Daily anchors. Morning devotion, midday challenge, evening reflection. If you can't do the midday challenge, at least morning devotion and evening reflection, it's okay if you can be consistent about it. The third one, I'm sharing the template. The third one is shared goal. Shared goals. As a family, you need to have common goals. You need to carry your children along. Let them know that this holiday, we are achieving this. This is what we are doing this holiday. Before the school session closed, I told our children, come up with your daily routine, how you want your day to be going daily. And they came up with their daily routine. And even me as a parent, I have a goal for this holiday. And I've shared with them, this holiday, I am intentional about teaching our children relationship, friendship. That's what I'm teaching all through this holiday. And we have started. We are, from one level to another. So it is important that you have shared goals. It helps children, to set their own goals, to see the importance of setting goals. It is also very important. Then memory tracker. Memory tracker. I'm giving you templates. Memory tracker. So in your template, you can copy this, just like I said. You can have other activities that you can include. This is not the final template. You can start with this. As you go on, you can see need to add some other things to this template, but this is just a guide for you to get started. I talked about weekly family theme, daily anchors, shared goals, and the last one is memory tracker. Now, as a parent, how would you feel if your parents just brought out your 1 year birthday picture? How would you feel? I remember when my mom sent me a hard copy of my 1 year birthday picture. It was so interesting. Edna, how are you? Thank you for joining me. You're welcome. It's brought something in me. There was a kind of joy and excitement that I experienced. It is important to document our progress, memories. There is a special way that we teach parents at the Model Family Focus on how to create this memory tracker. When you get into the model family focus, we will teach you how to do that. You can track your children's growth, your family growth, how you can keep memories, photo, quotes boards, journals, and all that. One of the things we are doing this holiday is intentionally teaching our children how to journal. It is very important. It will help you to track your children's growth. They themselves will be able to track their goals. And in few years to come, when they are going through their journals, their photo book and all that, their quotes boards, it will bring back good memories. It will bring back good memories. So I've talked about family growth plan template. You can copy this and you can also modify it. Your family growth plan is not a to-do list. No, it is a vision for how your home will flourish. So you need to be intentional about that. If you don't have your family growth plan in place, this is an opportunity. I've given you permission to have one. All right, I have given you permission to have one. So like I said in my introduction, that you walk away from this session with the skills you need to carry children of different age along. Of course, our children won't be of the same age, except you have twin. If you have a set of twin, then you can have children of the same age. So in some family dynamics, you have a toddler, you have a preschool, you have a teenager in the same home. And the way and the manner at which children learn per age differs. So you need to create a system that will inclusive, a system that will work for all the family members. So for young children, you can use coloring cards, thank you jars, like our toddler. Sometimes it's just coloring. The way they take in information is not the same way a teenager would take in information. So you need to be intentional to design a system if you have younger children. And coloring, images are part of the things that will help you to achieve that. At that age, they learn more visually, when they watch images and all that. For school age, for teenagers, adolescents, you can include bedtime devotion. You can make daily routine. Daily anchor is very, very key for this age. For the teen, you can also include vision board for them. This will help them, especially to create faith practices that fit your family. This is very important. Prayer journals, blessing circles, gratitude challenge. Like I share with you what we do here in our family. One thing per day, one thing that you are grateful for. These are the things that you can incorporate in your family growth plan. Now let's talk about connection over consumption. During this holiday, you need to be intentional about reducing digital noise. See, one of the things that I've seen over time happening during holiday is excessive screen time. Don't be caught off in that way. Excessive screen time. You need to intentionally watch that. Even here, our children, during this holiday, they are going against our family digital master plan. Yes, they know when and how they should use screen. For instance, this morning, they just on the TV. And I was like, why? You know that this shouldn't happen because they are on holiday. So you need to be intentional about that. You need to intentionally create tech-free zone. Like I said in one of my live sessions, if you don't create activities away from screen, you can't get your children away from screen. No. If you want to get your children away from excessive screen time, you should create activities away from screen. Family book club one-on-one dates, have one-on-one discussion. This holiday period is a time to have discussion, conversations, meaningful conversations with your children. This will lead to more connection over consumption. You can have family movie night, family popcorn night, games and all that. It is important. Memories aren't made from what we buy, they are made from how we show up. Memories are not made from what we buy. It's okay to buy goodies for your children. It's okay to buy them suya. It's okay to buy ice cream. It's okay to buy shawarma. It's okay to name it. It's okay to buy yogurt. It's okay. It's okay to buy all those things. I'm not saying they are bad. If you can afford it, why not buy it? But memories are made for how you showed up. How you show up for your children. Most of us now, like me, sometimes I can't even remember what my parents bought for me when I was young, except major things. But activities, how they showed up, what they did, how they made me feel, I'm able to recollect even at this stage. So memories are not made. Buy if you can buy. There's no problem. Auntie Shade, thank you for joining me. You're welcome. Buy if you can afford it. But more importantly, show up for your children. Don't let screen, don't let TV, don't let laptops and phone, don't let them do babysitting for you. No, they are not the parents. And don't send your children to summer lesson. Yes, don't send them to summer lesson. Except the lesson is something different from academics. Let them have a break from academics. Let them, expose them to different activities, other activities that can sprout curiosity in them away from school. So that is that about that. You need to put all these things together. I've talked about family growth plan. If you don't have any, now I've given you a template that you can work with, that you can copy or that you can modify. Let this holiday be a seedbed for your spiritual growth, emotional strength, and joyful moments. Like I said in my introduction, even the scripture recognizes seed time and harvest time. The Bible says that seed time and harvest time shall not cease. Seed time and harvest, that's how the scripture puts it. Seed time and harvest shall not cease. What I take from this Bible scripture is that there is a time that you must plant. But the time for harvest, that time, there's no window frame. It's open. So don't miss the seed time. Seed time is holiday period. If you are intentional about it, if you are purposeful about it. So let this holiday be a seedbed for your child's spiritual growth, emotional strength, and joyful memories. Create memories during this holiday. All those things that you have not been able to implement during the school session, you have long holiday to start implementing them. Make this holiday seed time. I still want to talk about my books. 2 of my books that will be coming out. I'm so excited because I am sure that this book will help you. This book will help you. The workbook is not something you will exhaust. You will keep using it. Yes, I call it life book because you will use it over and over and over and over again until you are able to get your desired result. If you need your family system installation, please contact us at the Modern Family Focus. That is what we do. We help parents to install their family system. We help parents to put the systems in place that will keep their families flourishing. Please don't miss any session of this parenting talk show with Coach Ayolua. This holiday period, there's still things we need to discuss. In one of the sessions, I will talk about how to identify the right school for your children. How to identify the right school for your children. Not every school is good for your child. Yes, you shouldn't just take your child to a school because it is a school. There are things you need to watch out. There are things you need to know. There are things that you need to put in place. And I will dedicate a session on this talk show for that. It applies to preschool, primary school, secondary school, even university. Please don't miss this session. Anytime, every Sunday by 2 p.m., we are here talking about parenting, learning parenting. I love to teach parenting. I love parenting. Everything about parenting counts me in. And that is why I am the parenting guru. Thank you all for joining me on this show. Thank you. Thank you. If you have missed any of this show, it's available on my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you all for joining me. Until next time, keep parenting with intention.